The story begins with a man named Hector P. Valenti, a struggling magician. Hector comes to New York City to perform his magic at a national show, but he enters the show without permission and suddenly starts flying pigeons using his magic. Unfortunately, the audience doesn't like his performance at all. Security guards drag Hector out and tell him that if he wants to perform, he needs to show something new and impressive. Feeling heartbroken and disappointed, Hector walks into a pet shop. He asks the shopkeeper for a pet that is small and cheap, something he can hide inside his hat and use in his magic tricks. The shopkeeper names several pets and walks away. Just then, Hector hears a soft singing voice coming from inside the shop. As he follows the sound, he discovers something unbelievable: a baby crocodile, quietly singing to himself. Hector is instantly overjoyed. He names the crocodile Lyle and takes him home. At home, Hector practices singing with Lyle, hoping to turn him into a stage star. But Lyle refuses to sing in front of him. Then Hector gives Lyle his favorite scarf. The moment Lyle wears it, he starts singing beautifully. Together, they begin practicing every day. Soon, Hector takes Lyle to a theater, planning a live performance. But the theater owner, John, stops him and says that Hector never paid for his previous shows, and all of them were failures. John demands the money first. Hector has no money, so trusting Lyle's talent, he makes a heartbreaking decision and mortgages his 3-story house to John. The show is allowed to go on. On stage, Hector announces Lyle's performance. But when Lyle sees the huge crowd, he becomes extremely nervous. He freezes and can't sing a single note. The show completely fails. Because of this, Hector loses his house. Broken and ashamed, Hector tells Lyle that he's going far away to earn money. He leaves Lyle behind, giving him the scarf as a memory. Lyle is left alone, sad and confused. 1.5 years later, a man named Mr. Prim moves into Hector's old house with his wife Martha and his son Josh. Mr. Prim is a school teacher. A colleague named Carol visits him, gets some papers signed, and introduces him to their grumpy neighbor, Mr. Grumps. Carol tells Martha that she loves her cookbooks and shows them around the neighborhood. Josh doesn't want to live in New York. He hates the city and feels uncomfortable. While sitting alone in his room, Josh hears a strange noise. As he follows the sound, he finds a crocodile locked inside a glass enclosure. Josh reads a note attached to it. It says, "This is my crocodile. Please take good care of him. Hector." Josh thinks the crocodile is just a statue because Lyle is standing completely still. He feels nervous and anxious. At school, he sees some kids recording videos. When Josh accidentally walks between them, they get annoyed. Josh spends the entire day alone without making a single friend. Back home, he searches online for tips on making friends. On his phone, he watches videos of a girl named Tootie, who goes to the same school. Later, Malika, Mr. Grumps' cat, walks into Josh's room. Suddenly, Josh hears singing again. He follows the sound with Malika, and to his shock, he sees Lyle. Josh screams in fear. Malika attacks Lyle, and Lyle accidentally swallows the cat and runs away. Josh chases after Lyle, begging him to spit the cat out. Lyle hides when he sees Josh. Josh looks around nervously. Just then, a stranger tries to snatch Josh's phone. Lyle suddenly appears, scares the man away, and spits Malika out safely. Josh realizes that Lyle is not dangerous. The next morning, Martha starts organizing the kitchen and tells her husband to throw away unhealthy food. When Mr. Prim takes the trash outside, Mr. Grumps yells at him, saying they can't throw garbage there, and accuses Josh of feeding Malika unhealthy food. Grumps warns them to stay away from his cat. Later, Josh gives Lyle a thank you card, and Lyle feels truly happy. Martha calls Josh for school. Josh takes her through a shortcut, looking more confident and happier than before. Meanwhile, Martha watches old videos of Josh on her phone and becomes emotional. She may be his stepmother, but she truly loves him. At school, Josh is sitting with a pile of books. Tootie approaches him and asks why he's carrying so many books. Josh smiles and says, "You won't believe this, but I have a pet crocodile." Tootie laughs and says, "No one keeps a crocodile as a pet." She walks away, but later that day she adds Josh as a friend on social media. Martha tells her husband that Josh is growing up now and doesn't really need her anymore. But Prim gently tells her, "You are a very important part of his life. You're a great mom. He still needs you." Meanwhile, Lyle takes Josh with him and sits inside a dumpster. Lyle happily pulls out leftover food from the trash and starts eating it, and even shares it with Josh. Josh looks at Lyle and asks, "Can't you talk?" Instead of speaking, Lyle starts singing, because singing is the only way he can express his feelings. Josh slowly begins to enjoy Lyle's company. He laughs, relaxes, and truly feels happy with him. The next morning, Martha enters Josh's room and sees Lyle standing right beside him. She panics, grabs Josh, and starts running away. But Lyle stops her and sings softly to calm her down. Still shaken, Martha leaves the house with Josh and calls Prim to tell him about the crocodile. Josh begs her not to tell his dad. He says, "I'm happy with Lyle. Ever since he came, I've changed. Please don't tell Dad about him. Martha agrees and keeps the secret. When she returns home, holding a broom for protection, she goes upstairs and sees Lyle taking a shower. Terrified, she tries to run away again, but Lyle follows her. Martha tells him, "You can't stay here. Crocodiles don't live in houses." But Lyle starts singing while cooking in the kitchen. He dances with Martha, and slowly, she begins to smile. Soon, Martha starts cooking with Lyle. She realizes he isn't dangerous at all. At the same time, Mr. Grumps installs security cameras outside his house. He suspects that Prim's family is hiding something from him. Later, Prim tells Martha, "You've been very happy lately. There's something else behind this happiness. Tell me what it is." Martha finally takes Prim to see Lyle. The moment Prim sees the crocodile, he freaks out and tries to run away. Martha tells him he's not like other crocodiles, but Prim doesn't listen and rushes toward the gate. Just then, Hector arrives. Prim asks him, "Who are you?" Hector calmly replies, "Talk to the school authorities. This house belongs to me." Hector looks at Lyle and says warmly, "You've grown so big." He calls Lyle toward him. At first, Lyle is angry. Hector had left him alone years ago, but emotions take over, and Lyle runs forward and hugs Hector tightly. Martha later asks the school authorities about Hector. She learns that this house is Hector's family home, which he lost in a business deal. According to the contract, Hector is allowed to stay in the house 15 days every year. That night, Prim sleeps in fear because of the crocodile. Meanwhile, Hector and Lyle dance together joyfully. The next day, Martha suggests going out for a walk. Hector dresses Lyle in a t-shirt, and together they go out. People on the streets are amazed and happy to see Lyle. No one is scared. Everyone smiles. Back at home, Prim goes into Lyle's room. Suddenly, Lyle appears behind him. Lyle breaks a photo frame, takes out a whistle, blows it loudly, and starts boxing with Prim. Surprisingly, Prim enjoys it. He defeats Lyle and feels proud, saying he once won a boxing championship in 1909 and hadn't boxed since then. Later, Hector entertains everyone with his magic tricks. Lyle cooks in the kitchen, but accidentally burns the omelet and eats it himself. Then Lyle and Hector sing together. The entire house fills with happiness. Hector tells Lyle, "You sang in front of everyone today. That means you're ready now. We should do a show. We'll become famous." Lyle isn't happy to hear this. Hector had left him once before when the show failed, but Hector sings to convince him, and Lyle finally agrees. Josh asks Hector, "Where are you taking Lyle?" Hector replies, "When people hear him sing, we'll be famous and rich." Josh says softly, "Lyle doesn't need money, he just needs a family." Hector insists that tonight is special and asks them to let him go. He takes Lyle on his bike to perform a show. Lyle is still scared to sing on stage. They are both disappointed. Josh tells Lyle, "It doesn't matter to me if you don't sing." But Lyle feels heartbroken and walks away. Hector tells Lyle that he has a lot of debt to repay, this time a much bigger amount. He says he'll ask for a few more days and tells Lyle not to lose hope. Then Hector jumps out through the window and disappears into the night. When Prim returns home, Carol hands him some papers and leaves. Suddenly, a car stops nearby. Some men throw Hector out of the car and drive away. Hector tells Prim, trying to laugh it off, "They're just asking me to repay a little debt." Soon after, Mr. Grumps takes Prim to his house, where school officials are already waiting. Grumps complains that Prim loves singing and dancing late into the night, sometimes until 3 a.m., disturbing everyone in the neighborhood. He tells the officials that since the house was provided by the school, it should be taken away from Prim. Just then, Hector arrives at Grumps' house. He reveals that Grumps has secretly installed cameras outside neighbors' homes without anyone's permission. Feeling exposed, Grumps quickly cancels the meeting and asks the school officials to leave and return another day. Everyone starts leaving. Hector also turns to go, but Grumps stops him. Later, when Hector reaches home, Martha and Prim hug him and thank him for standing up for them. Meanwhile, animal control officers arrive to take Lyle away. Seeing them, Martha tells Josh to hide Lyle, but it's too late. The officers capture Lyle. Josh begs Lyle to sing, but the officers sedate him and take him away. Josh is completely heartbroken. Grumps then warns Prim that he has broken many rules and that he will report him to the school authorities, who will throw them out of the house. Lyle is taken to the zoo, where he is kept with other crocodiles. Josh and his family come to visit him. Josh tells Prim, Lyle doesn't belong here. He eats pizza and burgers, and they're feeding him plain fish. Prim replies sadly, this is his life now. He'll be happy with other crocodiles. We'll come visit him every day. Josh refuses to accept it. He says, we can break him out of the zoo. You can't stop me. Because of Lyle, I've changed. He's changed all of us. We'll be happy together. Josh suddenly becomes extremely anxious. Because of his asthma, he starts panicking and collapses. Prim rushes him to the doctor. The doctor explains that Josh suffered a panic attack, which triggered his asthma, but he'll recover soon. Unable to speak, he begins to sing, remembering all the moments he shared with Josh and the family. Hector is also devastated after losing Lyle. Josh and his family miss him terribly too. That night, Martha checks on Josh in his room and sees him sleeping sadly, missing Lyle. The next day, Josh is sitting alone in a cafe. Tootie comes in, sits beside him, and encourages him. She says, "We're performing in a show soon. You shouldn't give up. My pet snake once disappeared for 6 weeks, but we found it in our neighbor's house. So don't give up on Lyle." Later, Martha picks Josh up from school and takes him home. Josh eats dinner with Prim and then goes outside to throw the trash away. There, he meets Hector. Josh angrily tells him, "You didn't treat Lyle right." Hector breaks down and tells the truth. "When I brought Lyle home, I trusted him so much that I risked my house for a live show, but Lyle froze on stage. He got scared of the crowd, and I lost everything. When Grumps tempted me with money, I gave in and handed Lyle over to the zoo. Now I hate myself for it." Josh replies, "I hate you too." Hector nods and says, "Then help me fix this. We have to break Lyle out of the zoo. My magic and our sharp minds can make it happen." Josh doesn't believe in magic and starts to walk away. Hector calls out, "I'll be waiting for you at the zoo gate at 4 o'clock. At 4 p.m., Hector waits at the zoo gate, but Josh doesn't show up. Determined, Hector goes inside the zoo alone. A guard notices him and asks what he's doing there. Hector suddenly handcuffs himself to the gate and says, "I thought I had magical powers, so I locked myself in. Now please help me unlock my hands." As the guard tries to help, Hector quickly locks the guard to the gate instead, steals the keys, and runs toward Lyle's enclosure. At the same time, Josh finally arrives at Lyle's cage. Suddenly, another crocodile attacks Hector. Hector screams at Lyle to save him, but Lyle doesn't move. Hector begs Josh to ask Lyle for help, but Josh refuses. Desperate, Hector looks at Lyle and says, "I'm sorry, I used you, but now you have to come with us. Josh and his family are waiting for you." Hearing this, Lyle finally understands. He jumps forward and saves Hector. Josh and Hector manage to bring Lyle outside the zoo, but suddenly the police surround them. They order Lyle to be taken back inside. At that moment, Hector releases a cloud of blue smoke using his magic. In the confusion, Josh and Lyle escape. Lyle runs toward a bike. Josh shouts there's no one to ride it. Lyle tosses a helmet toward Josh, sits on the bike himself, and Josh jumps on behind him. Together, they race through the city. During the chase, Josh crashes the bike into a building. The bike stops and Lyle falls to the ground. Meanwhile, Martha realizes Josh is missing from his room. She panics, and she and Prim rush out to find him. Josh takes Lyle straight to Tootie's school show. Josh tells her, "I have to show everyone what Lyle can do." He sneaks Lyle inside. As soon as people see the crocodile, they panic. Josh pulls Lyle onto the stage. The police arrive again. Josh looks at Lyle and says emotionally, "You have to trust me. You have to sing with me. This is the only way to save you." Josh starts singing by himself. The audience is confused, wondering why he's singing. Josh looks at Lyle again and pleads, "Sing with me." This time, Lyle trusts him. Lyle starts singing. The entire crowd is shocked. As Lyle sings, people begin to smile, cheer, and enjoy the moment. Soon the whole city is watching Lyle sing on TV. 1 month later, Mr. Grumps files a court case against Lyle. In court, Grumps argues, it doesn't matter if Lyle can sing. He was taken out of the zoo illegally. According to the law, wild animals cannot be kept as pets. Even the judge seems to agree with him. Just then, Hector enters the courtroom. He says, "I have legal documents that say the house on East 88th Street has special permission to keep wild animals as pets." Hector explains that his grandmother was one of the founders of the zoo, a woman who deeply loved animals and contributed greatly to New York City's development. As a gift for her work, the house was granted this special permission. Grumps angrily asks, "Where did you get these papers from?" Hector smiles and says, "My new friend Malika gave them to me from your house." The judge rules in Josh's favor and allows Lyle to stay with him. Everyone is overjoyed. Later, Prim and his family go on vacation with Lyle. Hector tells them, "I've already booked many shows with Lyle, but don't worry, we'll do them later. Enjoy your time." Tootie brings her pet snake to Hector. To Hector's surprise, the snake sings just like Lyle. Hector excitedly plans a new show with Tootie and the snake. In the final scene, Lyle asks Josh to play his favorite song. Everyone is inside the car, laughing and singing together. Even Mr. Grump's cat Malika joins them. And with music, laughter, and family, this beautiful story comes to a happy ending. If this story made you smile, believe in yourself a little more today. And if Lyle found a family, maybe we all can too. Hit like, share the love, and subscribe for more heartwarming stories.